It seems like we're even closer to Kendrick Lamar's new album than we initially thought, because none other than SZA, his TDE colleague, not anymore, but still very big artist, just also hinted at the record and kind of confirmed that it is coming and is likely coming pretty soon. Today, we're going to talk about all of this, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop, so make sure to do that. So we know that Kendrick is dropping a new album after the entire Drake beef. We know there is something coming. We've gotten multiple hints, and also, most importantly, when it comes to the timeline, to the scheduling of this record and a potential release date, is the Super Bowl halftime performance that he is doing at the Super Bowl in February, that he's also dropped the trailer for, in which he was taking a couple of shots at Drake, saying there's no round twos, there's only one way or one chance to win the championship. So we are speculating that right around the Super Bowl, there will be a new album. We initially thought it was going to be after the Super Bowl, so carrying that momentum, into the new album. But now it is all seeming like something is going to come before that. Maybe that's for the better, because then he can perform those new tracks live in front of hundreds of millions of people. Let's take a look at what's happening over the past 48 hours, though, when it comes to the TDE colleagues hinting at Kendrick's new album. So it all started when Devin Malik posted this clip of the pop-out show where everybody was turning up. Kendrick was about, seeing in there, and it said Mood, cause new K-Dot album on the way. And, Devin Malik is not just somebody. If you take a look at his most popular songs, for example, on Genius.com, you can see that he's been involved, for example, with Reason, Isaiah Rashad, Schoolboy Q, Absol. So those are obviously all TDE people. He's somebody that is pretty familiar with the camp. He's somebody that is, in the insides of it, does have some info that probably outsiders don't have, and is somebody that has his hands a little bit in everything. Just from this one, just most popular tracks page, you can see that he has his hands in basically every TDE artist's work, and, likely knows something that we don't. Now, this wasn't the interesting part. Just this alone is pretty cool, because somebody that is close to TDE is teasing this new album. But here's the twist now, because SZA, none other than SZA, one of the biggest singers in the world, and obviously also TDE signee, probably the biggest artist on the label, undoubtedly now. She also reposted this tweet by Devin Malik. And, this Mood, cause new K-Dot album on the way. She just reposted this on her Instagram story, which obviously has a huge platform. The SZA Instagram account has millions of followers who are now seeing this, so she has to be pretty safe about something coming to be in a position to post this, not to ruin her reputation. And I know SZA is somebody, that posts a lot of stories. I looked at her Instagram profile just over the past 24 hours after this post went up. There were like 20 stories being uploaded, random memes, and I don't know what she's doing on there, on her phone all day, I don't know. So you could say that, okay, she's just reposting everything. But as I said, a lot of people are looking at her stories. A lot of people that are into the music, into TDE, into all of that info. So her reposting something like that is a pretty clear sign that a new K-Dot album is likely on the way and coming pretty soon. Now, this wasn't the end, though, because then Devin took this up again and, reposted SZA's repost and said squad. So he is kind of playing into this narrative now as well. So this is the info that we've gotten. And if you consider all the other hints we've gotten, Terrence Martin in June of this year saying that after the beef, Kendrick was cooking something up and had a new album on the way. That was a pretty good sign. All the other TDE hints that we've gotten. And I know Kendrick is not with TDE anymore. Mr. Morale was his last project under TDE, and we are moving into the PG Lang era. I am fully aware of that. But as we saw from the pop-out show, Kendrick is still heavily involved with all the works of TDE and likely still has his opinions matter at some level of the organization. And if people like Devin Malik, who for example were also at the pop-out show, if they post something like this, that likely means that they have some inside info that the outside just doesn't. So there's still a pretty close collaboration between Kendrick and TDE when it just comes to the publishing side of things. And people were directly looking at, okay, is there going to be a SZA feature on this? Honestly, I doubt it. As I said, SZA does repost a lot of things, so her reposting this one tweet does mean that she does see some legitimacy in that tweet, and she likely has also heard some of the music and is likely, very excited as well and wants maybe her part of on that album to be heard as well. But I don't think it's a direct sneak hint at her being this big feature on there. I mean, they worked together pretty well in the past, produced some hits, but I don't think that is like the big hint that we've all been waiting for to have that SZA feature. I hope she's featured on the record, but I just don't think this is going to be it. Now, when it comes to the release date of this album, now, as I said, we had those two possibilities of after the Super Bowl and before the Super Bowl. And as it's looking right now, I mean, we're only in October. If you kind of, calculated through November, December, January, and then middle of February, there's still 4 months until the Super Bowl performance. That is still a pretty long time, and the rate that we're getting these hints now is honestly at an alarming rate now, to the point where I could see a single drop any week now, and then that introduce the rollout of the record. Obviously, this is all speculation. We don't actually know anything about it, but I think it's a pretty exciting time because we're looking at a prospect of a new Kendrick Lamar album, and especially at a Kendrick Lamar album that is pretty important. That is pretty important for him after the beef with Drake, and that is pretty important for hip-hop. I think I'll drop a separate video on why I think that this album is so important, so make sure you stay subscribed not to miss out on that. But this new album likely will have more hype and will be more important, I'm repeating myself, than Mr. Morale was, and that was already a pretty dope album. So this new album, I'm looking forward to it a lot, and it seems like a lot of other people are as well. So as to kind of recap this, we had Devin Malik post that, SZA reposted, and if you're asking me for my personal opinion on when this album is dropping, I could see maybe around the holidays. I know a lot of people are saying that right now, but maybe late December or January, like a month before the Super Bowl, to have some big hits crystallize out of the mix that he could then perform at the halftime show and people know the words. Because if you drop the album like a week before, people don't know the words to the songs, people don't know the songs. Also, it's kind of awkward to preview new music at the Super Bowl halftime show because that's usually just a safe spot where you have a crazy performance that looks cool, but the music you're playing should be something that people know. So it's even weird to play music you only dropped a month ago, but it's still better than just dropping, just performing an album you dropped last Friday. But I do think that the Super Bowl show will be centered around the big Kendrick hits like, a Humble or like a Swimming Pool, something like that everybody knows, because that's the point of the whole show. If the whole stadium is just quiet because they don't know the words, that's just awkward for the artist. So we'll have to wait and see in what way the Super Bowl performance will influence the album, or if it actually drops after. But I could see early next year if you're asking me for my opinion. But I do want to know what y'all think about this. When do you think that this new album, whatever it's going to be called, is going to be coming out? And what do you think about the SZA thing? Do you think she's featured on there? Do you think she's just reposting everything that she sees on the internet? Let me know all your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.